Daily Broadside, day 630. I know a guy who I stumbled into a conversation one time. I wasn't in the conversation. I just walked into the room and they was having a conversation. But he was arguing with another guy about the detriments and, all the pros and cons of circumcision. And how he was completely against the idea and notion that in this country we just automatically snip every boy that's born, or doctors want to, or whatever. And there's myriad reasons on both sides and all that stuff. And he was just completely against it. And I think he was kind of angry at the fact that his parents had taken that option from him. Which they say is a pretty painful thing to do later on in life. So maybe pain being taken away, maybe that's not a bad thing necessarily. But at the same time, it's your penis. You do what you want with it. But I was thinking, I think the only way to settle this is just get half a circumcision, just kind of Harvey Dent your wiener, just kind of half of it's got a hood and half of it's just a German helmet, and you've just got that Harvey Dent Two-Face wiener, the old Harvey Dent wiener. And they ask you that. They're like, you want a circumcision or you want a Harvey Dent? And, you're the parent and the it's not the OR or the ER, what's the place where you have babies? The neonatal, the natal unit? I don't know. You're up there and they're like, what are you looking to get? And they're like, think of the Harvey Dent. Because then the person could go through life, have half a sheath, half a scabbard, as it were. And then, they could decide later on. Now, granted, I don't know if there's any kind of, elective surgery you could get where you'd be like, look, doc, I really like the scabbard side, and I kind of want to add a scabbard to the other half so I can have, I don't want the Harvey Dent anymore. I want the full, shroud. I don't want to be shrouded in secrecy. I don't want penis to be shrouded in secrecy anymore. I need it to just be shrouded, But yeah, I don't know if you can go back and do that. I don't know if they could take a chunk of skin off your ass and graft it onto the half of the circumcision that you've already gotten. But you could obviously go the other way. You'd be like, look, I got to get rid of this Harvey Dent. It's just not flying for me. The thing gets caught in zippers, and it's too loose. I think the thing didn't have a whole circle to hold on to itself. I think it would just kind of flop over. What would happen is your half a circumcision, all that flap of skin would start to look like the dorsal fin of an orca whale. You just be swimming around. But anyway, I digress about that. I'm just telling you, it might be a thing. I was just reading an article, or not an article. I was reading a Wikipedia entry about hopscotch a little while ago, about 10 minutes ago, actually. And I was trying to understand. So I saw somebody, I don't know what I saw, but something in the last couple of days, I saw a video of somebody doing hopscotch, and the thing's got 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, something like that. And we had it on all our playgrounds when I was in elementary school, and we didn't know what we were doing, But apparently you're supposed to play it with a marble or a marker, something called a lagger, I think is what they called it, Lagger. And you throw it out there and then you dance over to that and you can't hit the lines. And it seems like a completely stupid and silly game that would be impossible to not be good at. Unless you just had some kind of debilitating thing that didn't allow you to hop, or scotch. Maybe adding scotch to the game might make it a little bit more palatable to the people that play it. But I'm sitting there reading this and I'm trying to wrap my mind around the scoring and all, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest game I've ever heard of. In fact, I think the people that invented the card game War are probably relative geniuses compared to the morons who came up with hopscotch. The guy who invented checkers is brilliant compared to the guy that came up with hopscotch. Hopscotch, what a stupid name, hopscotch. I was helping somebody out. What day was that? It was Sunday, I believe. Yeah, it was Sunday. So I was helping a buddy out go pick up a deep freezer. I don't know why they call them deep freezers. You can open the lid and reach right into it and reach everything there is to reach. I think a deep freezer would be 12 feet tall. Something you'd have to climb a ladder and then go down into, spelunk down to get some frozen bag of gravy from last fall so you could thaw it out and put it on your chicken or whatever. But anyway, he didn't have a trailer or a truck, so I went over there and helped him pick it up. And we went to his aunt's house. And so I show up at his aunt's house, and We go inside, and I pick this thing up, throw it on the trailer. You know, it's loaded in like a minute and a half. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. We're in, we're out. So I walk back inside, and he's in one of the front bedrooms, and the aunt is moving out. And she's moving in somewhere else. So she's getting rid of a bunch of crap. So the house is kind of barren, but there's some random furniture. And she's like, would you like these shelves? And it's these cheap, you know, chipboard shelves that, you know, you can buy at Office Depot that, you know, fall apart as soon as you move them. And I was like, I was being nice. I was like, I don't need any more furniture in my life. And I'm thinking to myself, the last thing I need is that cheap crap right there. You spill a drink on it and the wood just expands. You know, it's that kind of crap, right? It's actually not wood. I don't know what it is. It's just pulp. It's OSB with like vinyl stuck to it or whatever. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. She's over there in the corner of the room where she had moved the cabinets. The two shelves were like butted up against each other in the corner, and there's all this black mold in the corner, like, you know, 2 feet up the wall and 3 feet in each direction from the corner, you know. And she's telling him, you know, the nephew, she's like, yeah, I've got to get, he's like, yeah, you might want to get that looked at. And she's like, yeah, I've got some Clorox spray that gets rid of mildew, and I'll have to clean that mildew. And she keeps using the word mildew. And I was like, so I interjected, and I was like, ma'am, that's mold. That's black mold. And I'm going to stand out here and talk to you about this because that stuff's not good to be breathing. And I said, that's not mildew. She's like, yeah, I know. I got some spray there. And she's on the spray click. And I'm like, you need to abate that. Like, you need to rip the drywall out and figure out what the problem is and stop it from happening again, and then put in new drywall and patch it in. It's not that hard, but it needs to be done. I was like, you know, spraying a little mildew, whatnot on it is not really going to be a thing. She's like, yeah, I got some spray. And she just kept going on about spray. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. You know, it's just George Costanza. I'm out. Some people you just can't reach. I know a guy who left a pretty good paying job with good benefits and all longevity and all that stuff. And he went to go be an assistant manager at a Chick-fil-A because he saw the dollar signs, because apparently, you know, he probably got like a $20,000 raise or something like that. Because, you know, if you become a manager of a Chick-fil-A, I think you make a pretty decent amount of money, at least for this part of the country. You know, you're in the 110s, 120s. I don't know what you're making, but I think like the assistants are in the 80s or 90s or so. Whatever it was, he made a chunk more than he was making. But, you know, I don't understand the people that go for money, you know, because you're going to be miserable. Like, if you're not happy doing what you're doing, I don't care what they pay you, man. There's millionaires out there that, you know, want to eat a gun, you know, some days, because it's just a miserable existence, you know. Most lawyers hate being lawyers, but they make a good amount of money, you know, but it's just a horrible job. It just sucks. It's not, you know, if you go after the dollar signs, it's just never going to be happy. And God, if I'd want to come home smelling like peanut oil and say, you know, God bless you, or whatever the hell they say to everybody 400 times a day. And there's no differentiation in that job. Like, you can't come to work one day and be like, all right, boys, we're going to do this. It's going to be more efficient. We're going to switch it up. Because corporate's going to be like, no, you're not. You're going to do what we tell you to do, chicken boy. You know, dance and go make some fries, you know. Go get some Chick-fil-A sauce, and put another shrimp on the barbie. I just couldn't work in a job where you can't, like, be creative and come up with new ideas and brainstorm and stuff like that. You just come to work dressed in tucked in slacks and a goofy looking shirt. You got to have a nice haircut, and you can't have like neck tattoos, and you got to say God bless you every 5 seconds when somebody, you know, wants to be nice to you, and you got to be nice back even if you have a crappy day. And then you smell like peanut oil all day long. Chicken. And you'd be so sick of that damn chicken. I mean, it's good and all, but I don't get it, man. So the money ain't where it's at, dude. You got to find something in your heart that makes your heart smile. And then, as they say, you can be as rich as you want to be. And then when you're going to eat Chick-fil-A, it actually is a treat instead of, you know, just something that you have to do every day. You pull into that parking lot and you just see that stupid bird and that C on the logo, and you're just like, I want to stick my head in the oven so bad. I want to stick my head in the oven in this stupid restaurant, you know. And anything that says ice dream, I'm not a fan of, because I'm pretty sure that's what they call their ice cream. Oh, kill me now. Have a good one, Giddy.